This is Akin, aka Jack is the Truth, in Madison Square Garden, New York City, with the one and only Johnny Nelson. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. You know what, Madison Square Garden, I think the last time I was in here, I don't know if it's 1997 when Naz boxed Kevin Kelly. So we came in like the Fighters Way and everything, all the hullabaloo and all that sort of stuff. And we drove through Times Square, big billboard poster of Naz in the middle of Times Square. And Naz like said, yeah, I'm big time now. And Michael Jackson came to the gym. He came to the fight, stood at the back, mask on, hiding like this. And it was like, and this place got history. I walked through the back, saw the old posters, Joe Frazier. I'm just thinking, man, this is iconic, this place is. There's not many places in the States where you'd go and you think there's some history here. Here in New York, I've seen a few historical monuments, should I say. So I like coming here. It's nice.
It always fascinates me when people reminisce, because it's my first time at MSG. I was speaking to Adam Smith, and he was doing exactly what you did. He was talking about the history of MSG. Do you still get excited when you walk up and you see the atmosphere?
You know what, that's the fight in you. You do. You get excited when you see these things and start jumping about like a giddy kid, and you just can't help it. And to me, there's something in it. Once the bug of boxing gets you, you're done. There's no coming back from it. And even when you're out of it, you've been out of it for years. You still think you can fight in your head, but you can't. How you doing, stranger? But you can't. And but it's just lovely to be involved in some aspect. It's the best.
Fight week. It's Anthony Joshua. I mean, we've got a massive card. I stay in a hotel, and I think 80% of the people that are in there are from London or from the UK, and everybody's talking about boxing. If you don't come here, you don't really get it. You don't get why British fighters want to come over here and fight over here. Is this what it's about? Do you think the transition is inevitable? More and more people are going to see this atmosphere?
I think the Brits have done their groundwork. Back in the day, the Americans never used to respect the British fighters. No disrespect to Frank, but they thought we all boxed like Frank Bruno, very orthodox, big, strong. So if they run orthodox, they get us. That's changed. Those days are gone now. A lot of big-time fighters want to come to England because they see places like Wembley Stadium getting 80,000 and 90,000 people and think, wow, the fans are real fans. Here, you could be Deontay Wilder walking down the street. So unless you're into boxing, you just think he's a big guy. And so they appreciate and show you the love. And now, as a young Brit coming here, I looked on the undercard, Tommy Coyle, Josh Kelly, and I looked and I thought, you know what? You do not. I think they understand where they're at. The first time when I boxed in the States, I was a boy in a man's body. The second time I boxed in the States, it was to defend my world title. It was on the undercard of Oscar De La Hoya Felix Trinidad in Las Vegas. Now, if I was of weak heart, weak mind and soul, I'd have thought, oh my God, this is too much for me. I loved it. Now, these boys have come to an iconic place like Madison Square Garden to fight. They've got a chance to showcase their skills. They've got a chance to say, I boxed in Madison Square Garden. You can't get any better now. You've got to give it to Matchroom because at the end of the day, he's giving opportunities to boys that they probably would never dreamed of getting. And regardless of how the fights pan out, they've just had the opportunity to box in this iconic building.
I mean, it's exciting. I'm definitely excited to see. It's nice to see people like Josh Kelly get this opportunity. You wouldn't think that in this thing. Let me ask you about the heavyweight division. Matchroom just announced that we've signed that. I said we, like Matchroom. I'm preempting a job from Matchroom. So Matchroom have just announced.
How are you?
Yeah, they've just announced that they've signed Joseph Parker. What do you think of the heavyweight division? There seems to be a traffic jam, if I can use that to describe it, of the next tier of fighters down. Eddie Hearn mentioned 14 fighters. Where do these guys all get their opportunities to?
Eventually they're going to have to fight each other, and as they fight each other, it'll be like a round robin, picking them off one at a time. The cream will rise to the top, the best will be left, and that's what's happening at the moment. The ones at the top, you're talking Tyson Fury, Deontay, Joshua, you're talking White. These guys at the top, they're all like juddering for position, but still, it's still littered with still dangerous fighters. Ortiz is still there, Parker's still hovering about, Takam's still hovering about. You've got guys that can still fight, that are young, that are hungry. So now there's a big birth rate coming through of the heavyweights that want to fight, that can fight, that create excitement, that can knock fighters out or be knocked out. So it's a great time to be back in it again in the heavyweight division, because now they look like athletes as well. You know, they look like, I love this game. So it's just the fans are the ones that benefit out of this more than anything else.
So can you reconcile people like Deontay Wilder saying that there is nowhere else for Anthony Joshua to go? Who else will he fight? That's why he's chasing me, so I'm going to let him chase. When we can mention all these people behind him that are ready to come up and take the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. So why would, Deontay Wilder's going to say that? Because he probably thinks I'm the only one in the world. I'm the only heavyweight that's around. But Anthony Joshua, if you listen to the press conference yesterday, he said, if these fights are to be made, if these guys want to make these fights, I'm telling you now to come and sit down with me. Come and sit in front of me and talk to me. Don't do it through your agent or through my agent. Talk to me. So when a man's saying that to you, come talk to me. And you're saying blah blah, making all this noise left, right, and centre. You're not answering the call. That says it all. So Anthony Joshua has to do what he's doing. And at the end of the day, this I hear back home, viewing figures are like sky high for this fight so far today on the Friday. That's not even fight night. Sky high. So if that was the case, this is the Anthony Joshua show, because realistically, how much criticism has he got for picking Andy Ruiz? How much criticism did he get for picking Gerald Miller? People have flown over. My mate was on a flight yesterday. The whole flight was coming to the fight. The amount of fans that are coming out to see Anthony Joshua in action. You go to Wembley, at least 60% of those people were crossover fans, casual fans, because they want to see Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua knows he's not just a boxing icon. He's a sportsman where people can connect to him. So when he's getting paid, I don't know the figures, he's a guess. When he's getting paid something like 15 million, and your Wilders and your Furies are getting paid 5, 7, and they're saying we want a 50-50 split, he's saying, why? You go boxing Wembley, fill it out. The only way you fill it out is if you fight each other. Who else are you going to fight to fill that place out? You put Anthony Joshua in Wembley, I bet you 9 times out of 10 he'll fill it out.
So why is he talking about them? Why is he giving it energy? Because,
Well, no, he's answering the question. Because if he ignores it, then it fuels the fire of Wilder and what Tyson Fury is saying. He's scared. So he's answering the question. He said, I don't want to talk about this, but I'll tell you. Let me cut it straight. I've told the boys, I'm looking at the camera, come talk to me. I'm here, you know where I am. I know you don't like my management. I might not get me. Come talk to me. So he's giving me options. That's a man's conversation. You can't get more like that.
I get that, but 2 hours after he said that on national TV, Wilder announced that he's fighting Ortiz. Now he's saying that Tyson Fury should come and see me. This is fight week, and he's. I'm not saying he's not focused on Ruiz, but by giving them all the attention, don't you think that the fans that believe that he's got nowhere to go, that's what he's playing into? By
okay, put it this way. So tonight's Friday night. The weigh-in's today. Anthony Joshua's weighing in Madison Square Garden. Tomorrow's fighting at Madison Square Garden. Deontay Wilder's coming in town to get an award, I gather, here in New York. He's on his turf. He's not as though he's got to go to England. If I was Deontay Wilder, I'd do an all Ali. I'd do a phrase. I'd turn up. I'd make a pest of myself, because the cameras aren't going to ignore him. I'd make noise. I'd just say, you get in his face like that. Come to the weigh-in. Come to the fight. And I bet you anything, that's what I'd do to get a fight, if you wanted to fight. Unfortunately, I do believe Deontay Wilder wants to do the fight. I do believe Anthony Joshua I do believe Tyson Fury, but it's the businessmen behind. Yeah. It's show business, and unfortunately, the business is showing as affecting the show. Yeah. It's politics. The politics of our game are the ones that spoil our game.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking, but that's the bottom line. I think that the politics of. I've got to ask you one final question. Why are you always so sharply dressed? Wherever you go, whether it's a suit, whether it's, what is it? You need to put me in touch with your stylist, bro.
Hey, the sun's shining. You wait till tomorrow night. I got myself a gangster suit. That's how we got to roll with it.
Yeah, I need to meet your tailor. Johnny Nelson, thank you so much for talking to the Boxing Voice. A pleasure as always.
Nice one, please.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Oh, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.